What's up everyone? This is James from Shimwrecker Enterprises, back here with another video. Today we're going to be looking at Storm's new IQ Tour Nano Pearl, which released in early August. It's a very fun ball. I've really been enjoying mine, so let's get right into it. The cover stock is called Nano Pearl Reactive. It's very similar, or feels very similar to NRG Reactive, which we've seen recently stateside on balls like the Physics, the Supersonic, the High Road Nano, and the All Road. So it feels very similar in composition to those. This, however, is a Pearl variant of that, and rather than being shiny, it comes with a little bit of surface from the factory. Factory surface is a 3000 grit sanded finish. Here in this video, I've kind of let mine lane shine a little bit. If you remember back to my Tech Talk video from last month, the Nano Pearl felt really slow out of the box. Felt really a little too much surface. I just kind of let it lane shine, and it's actually gotten better as I've done so. The core is the same C3 centripetal core as the other balls from the IQ Tourer series. Comes with an RG of 2.49 and a differential of 0.029. So what that produces is, decent punch down lane, a strong roll, but it's not going to force you into a ton of directional change. So it's a very good kind of alternate look, alternate feel type of ball to what you would get out of other balls from the Master line that have a little more differential to them. So let's get into the testing side of things. You've seen me throwing some shots here. I'm at Buffalo Lanes Cary in Cary, North Carolina. I'm testing on Kegel Chromium for this ball video. It's a challenge pattern. It's about a 6.7 to 1 ratio. Pretty good amount of volume, and about 42 feet long, I believe. So pretty solid, like, blended pattern. Definitely makes you make shots a little bit more than a typical house shot, but it's not like impossible to bowl on. So you can see here I've been throwing the Nano Pearl kind of all around the lane a little bit, and you've seen a few misses both in and out that I get punished for a little more than a house shot. But you can also see kind of these core traits that I've been talking about, is that it creates a decent amount of traction, but not too much. It's got a decent amount of punch down lane, but not too much. It's smooth, so it's controllable, but it still gets through the pins really well. I think I only had, one pocket 10 pin in all these shots you've seen so far, and all the other misses were just in the wrong part of the lane, like that shot right there. I missed way right, got it to the outer bounds of the pattern, because nothing's coming back from there, and yeah, same thing there. So those misses are me, not the ball. But it's been, even more so than what you see from like an IQ Tour Solid or even the IQ Tour Emerald, which is another Pearl ball in the IQ Tour line. The Nano Pearl just seems to have this like boomy, really like smooth banana type continuous motion down lane that can climb the hill when other stuff in the IQ Tour series can't. And actually, let's get into some comparisons, because I think this will illustrate it pretty well, is looking at the Phaze II versus the IQ Tour Nano Pearl. So these were shot back-to-back on the same lane with the same, pretty much the exact same layout as you can see here. So let's look at some shots from the Phaze II. This first shot, I think I just rifled right past the spot and rolled a 2-pin, so that was my fault. But then these next couple shots right here, you'll really start to see that difference, is where the Phaze II is actually picking up, getting into the roll phase sooner than the Nano Pearl is. That's mainly due, I'm attributing that mainly to cover stock strength and the higher differential. The Nano Pearl doesn't seem to like really grab the lane quite as much as the Phaze II does. Like the Nano Pearl feels a little more like a like an all-weather tire, versus the Phaze II kind of grabs on like a racing slick, even in some oil though, which is kind of odd to think about. So you just saw a few shots with the Phaze II there. Definitely a little earlier, a little rollier. Then you can see how the Nano Pearl gets that extra little bit of length before it starts to really make the corner. And so these are actually, like, I've been carrying the Nano Pearl and the Phaze II in my bag together quite a bit, because they key off of each other so well like this, where the Phaze II picks up a little earlier, rolls a little more. Nano Pearl gets down the lane a little better, punches a little harder, but still gets through the pins really well and still maintains a lot of control. The other really obvious comparison here, IQ Tour Nano Pearl, let's look at the other standard IQ ball, which is the IQ Tour Solid. You can see there's a slight layout difference here. My IQ Tour has a 4-inch pin to PAP versus a 4.5 on the Nano Pearl, but that's I didn't really feel much of a difference between these two in terms of what the core was doing, so I think this will be a pretty valid comparison. So then right here even, you can see these first few shots with the IQ Tour Solid. I'm still playing a little further to the right like I was for some of my shots with the Nano Pearl. But you can see like right there is kind of, it's not really picking up as early. The IQ Tour Solid isn't hooking as early as the Nano Pearl. So it's actually getting down the lane and kind of able to even punch a little harder down lane than the Nano Pearl is. You can see here it's still kind of laboring to get around the corner a little bit from that far left. And I think this is a really good illustration of kind of how I see the strengths and weaknesses of each of these balls. Is the IQ Tour Solid is really, really good from straighter angles, but just it's not quite as good from deep, like that shot there got behind it with the IQ Tour Solid. It's not as good from deep as the Nano Pearl is. So it's kind of a trade-off in the skill sets of these two balls. And then again, going back to the Nano Pearl, you can see that it's just, all over the lane. It's very smooth, but it's very consistent through the pins and very consistent down lane. So that's the Nano Pearl for you. I've been having a lot of fun with this ball. It's one that's very hard for me to put down, especially on house shot. It gets the job done, which I think is a trait of the entire IQ Tour series. It'll see use for a lot of different people. I've seen folks from high rev rates to people that play straighter up the lane, all using this ball and all loving it. I think it's not necessarily the flashiest ball in the bag, but it's gonna work, and it's gonna work on a lot of stuff. So if you're looking for a new kind of control-oriented center of the bag type piece, I think this is one you should definitely consider. Definitely go out to your nearest Storm VIP shop to get yours today, and let me know if you have any questions. Good luck and good bowling.